combing my beard because it feels good. And getting ready to edit this 5 hours worth of footage that I recorded yesterday, but I thought I'd throw a quick vlog up first because I don't do enough of that. And if you're getting tired of this crooked head angle, I could always do that yoke. God, my forehead is big. Look how freaking big my forehead is, man. Jeez. Got a forehead like a drive-in movie theater. No wonder I always have the camera set up like that, you know. So, I probably shouldn't have done that. Put the package in. I assume this is from Cayman Rider Gumo, because you were the one who asked me for my address, and that was the reason I had to look in my YouTube inbox, which is the reason that I got the Mario Maker codes from the YouTube inbox. Otherwise, I would have never looked at it, but I probably would have at some point out of curiosity. But I figured I might as well open it on camera. Give me an excuse to vlog here. Just, oh man. We have some Perlers here. Ooh. It's like a Mario Peach Pokeball with a little button on the front. That is adorable. Whoa. I'll throw it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. What about the rest of the guys up there? I think we'll set it over here for now. Whoa. I got a Toad. I mean, I can't believe I never thought to make a Toad before. I really need to get back to making these again. It would be so easy for me to just set the stuff up in the other room. Bowser. Just in time for Mario Maker. Actually, shouldn't he be facing that way, you know? And I can see what's on the camera, too. If I could. Wait a minute. Lemons! Yeah! Lemons, alright. That is so... Oh, man, I've never seen one with, like, a bullet on it. Dude, oh my god, there's so many in here. Jeez, there's Mario. Oops, again. So actually, that looks wrong to you, but right to me. To me, he's coming in from the left side, the angle I'm looking at it. Because everything that shows on the camera is actually inverted. There's Luigi, coming in from the right side. Wow, wow, that looks really weird on the screen. Looks all like neon and stuff. Dude, these are so cool. There's the princess. I have to make myself a little display on the wall here. I could totally make something. Use some of that sticky stuff that I had. Except get the white kind, because the blue kind, like you can see it on the walls where I used it. Like in my old apartment, I had stuff hanging on the walls, but I used like the blue sticky stuff to hang it up. Well, when I took that all down, you can still see little blue spots on the wall where I've hung stuff up. Shoot. I gotta buy my shit again here. Oh man, well, let me make sure we know who this is here. William J. and Jessica R. Bumgarner. Sounds like one of the nicknames that the coach gives the kid on Rookie of the Year. Dear Mr. Bishop, I hope this letter finds you well. Yes, it does. Last year, after seeing the fantastic work you've done with Perler Beads, I decided to try my own hand at them. Admittedly, some have come out better than others, but I'm still proud of what I have accomplished. You should be. Enclosed, you'll find several characters, 2 versions of Mario and Luigi, Princess Toadstool, Toad and Bowser from Super Mario Bros. As named Mega Man, my very first Perler creation. Oh my gosh, that was your first one? And you gave it to me? You didn't have to do that. I wonder if I still have my first one. Ooh, present. Nope. You know what? I should just turn on the auto clicker here. There. Now, some of them came out a little flatter than I would have liked, but overall I think I've done really well. You know, that happened to me too with some of my first ones. Flat as a pancake, man. In addition, my wife does various croquet projects and made a master ball from the Pokemon series. Oh, it's Master, not Mario. Why was I saying Mario? Consider this a heartfelt thank you for the uncountable hours of entertainment you provided since I discovered your Mega Man 3 Let's Play back in '09. I had just discovered the idea of the LP, and it was fantastic to watch someone play through my favorite game of all time, and enjoy it as much as I do. From then on, I've always looked forward to your upbeat, cheerful personality and your positive attitude towards the game you're playing. There's so much negativity and bile on the internet these days that it is refreshing to see someone that can simply play and enjoy a game for what it is. And if I may be so bold, whenever I was going through a dark or troubling time, I knew the cheer and laughter from you and the Runaway Guys was a mere click away. I'm going to end this before I start to ramble too much, but I hope my small gift brings you even a fraction of the happiness your videos have given me these past 6 years. 6 years. Walking that dog. How's the battery doing? You're okay? So here's my screen. So this is basically, when I talk about like incremental games, this is one of them. It's called Tap Tap Infinity. And right now I have the auto clicker on, so whenever I get up enough gold to buy my next level, it'll just do it automatically, so I don't have to. Because if I don't keep buying levels, then I don't keep up with the increasingly hard monsters, which have more and more HP. You see I'm killing them automatically here. And that's a boss right there. You get that every 5 levels. That's why it takes so much longer to kill that one. But gradually, the higher you get, until you hit a multiple of 25, and at that point you get a 4 times damage boost on that hero. This guy's had more 4 times multipliers than you could imagine. But it gets even higher. And like, here's the thing, like, you know how M is million, B is billion, T is trillion? Well, when it gets to quadrillion, it goes to AA. And then quintillion is AB, sextillion is AC. It goes all the way up to AZ, and then it starts over at BA. And BB, and BC, and BD, and so on. Well, this is where I'm at now. CO. Actually, that's my gold. This is my DPS over here. 20.4 CL. So I don't know why I waste my time playing these stupid things. They're just so addictive, man. Once you get past a certain point, you put so much time into it, you just want to see how far you can get. And I'm telling you, it just goes on forever, man. Right now I'm at level 3377. I heard the max level is 5,000, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's so much to it though. Like, every now and then you get a treasure chest. And like, every boss has an option that they might drop these purple things. You collect those up here. Then you like go infinite, start the whole game over back at level 1, but with upgrades. Like, people, like, every day somebody will ask something there, like, what is your favorite song, or what is a song you could put on repeat, or if you were on an island, what song would you want to hear forever? And I go into every single one of those threads and I put in I Know You're Out There Somewhere by the Moody Blues. So I started doing that like every single night. I made it like 8 nights in a row, and then I forgot on the 9th night. So it wouldn't have made sense for me to go back, but whatever. Get the present here. That was a good one. 59 levels on that. But who cares, you know? Who cares? Ugh. So my mom and I have been watching the Star Wars trilogy. I actually bought this at the store the other day. We had to look around for a little bit to find it. That's the episode. And we're doing it in machete order too. So we watched 4 and 5, and then I've seen 1 and 2. Now we're gonna watch 3 next, and then 6. So that'll be cool. Actually, machete order says you don't watch 1, but we did watch it, and she didn't like it. She didn't remember hardly any of it, nor did I, for that matter. But yeah, as we were watching today, Attack of the Clones, she's like, "Oh, that was so much better than the first one." The guy who helped us out in the art shop all that time, that's him. That was actually a drawing I made at his apartment one night when I came over and visited the night before he moved away. So, hope everybody's doing okay today. Not really much to talk about. I don't know. Can't hardly update you guys on my life at all lately. I was having those dizzy spells for a while. Did I even tell you guys about that? I haven't had one of those in like 3 months now. So that's just totally gone away. I mean, I was I was walking through the store today and I remember thinking, geez, how long is it? It's been like 3 months since I've been to that particular store, but when I walked in there, one of the first things I thought was, you know, last time I was here, I remember thinking I didn't feel so good. But as I was walking through there today, I just felt totally normal, and I was like, holy crap, I actually feel normal. And I don't know why it took the sight of that store to remind me of that. Did I forget to pull my hair down? I'm looking all stupid. Nah, I don't know. It's it's a thing. Whatever. I don't know. I just feel like it accentuates my face's fatness if I don't have the hair there. You know, to kind of make a straight line going down instead of this cheek thing looking like the cover of Fish Billy Breathes. Haven't been able to walk too much in the last like week or so, or 2 weeks, because of the weather. Obviously, it's supposed to be really nice this weekend, so maybe I can get out there and get a couple of walks in. I actually bought a treadmill, and they delivered it to the house. I set it up, I put it together, and it won't switch on. Like, there's a switch on the bottom that you flick, and when you flick it on, the light inside of the switch comes on. But the console up, the one that has all the numbers on it, that part of it won't turn on. So I don't know if it's just not getting power up to that, or what's going on there. But either way, it doesn't matter anyway, though, because the actual maximum capacity for the treadmill is 250 pounds. I'm a little bit more than that. I'm like 10 pounds over that, so too bad for me, I guess. So I'm debating whether or not, I mean, I'm definitely going to get another one, like, I guess a more expensive one, because the one I got was only like $150, which I know most people say, dude, God, that's a lot of money, and it is. So I don't even know if I bother trying to get a refund for it, because I've read on the reviews a lot. There were a lot of reviews that said the same thing, that had the same problems I had. People were saying, like, they would start it, and 3 days later, it was billowing smoke. And I'm like, ugh, that doesn't sound too good. So, you know, if those things are as fragile as the reviews say, I definitely don't want to be putting, you know, more weight than what it says to put on it, so. 'Cause otherwise, I might actually take a chance, you know, because they always put those numbers there, but how much does it really mean? Oh, no. So, yeah, I'm going to get another one, but I have to figure out, am I going to go ahead and get it now? Or should I wait till we've gotten rid of the old one? Because I don't know if I have space for two of them in there. So, yeah, figure that out. And we will. All in good time. I just know that now the winter's here. Getting some blood thickening going on. But no, actually, I mean, as far as that goes, you know, all things considered, I'm feeling pretty good right now. So, yay on that. Just gonna keep up those veggie smoothies. That's another thing I've really been slacking on, though, is the vegetables. That last bag of salad that I bought, I looked in the fridge yesterday, which was December 7th. It expired like a week before that, and I was like, I didn't even think it was in there for a week. But apparently 2 weeks went by, that much time went by with me not touching this stuff, and I'm like, geez, how does that happen so much? I noticed that, though. I mean, it makes sense, though, that the later you get in life, the faster time goes by. I've noticed now that, like, even 20 minutes is just gone in the blink of an eye. I go to put something in the oven, and I set the timer for 20 minutes, and I think, well, you know, that's a lot of time. I should be able to do something, I don't know. And then I start watching some videos, next thing I know, beep, 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 and it's going off. So there it is, 20 minutes. I hardly had to wait at all. This is my Yoshi's Woolly World disc. So happy. I don't know how to turn it so that it gets the best light. Oh, shoot. I'm about to stop again here. Oh. There's some Coke cans in here. I have the rest of that chipped beef in there in a minute. It's chipped beef. I bought some chicken thighs too, because I was thinking about maybe trying to make some chicken pot pie. So I've done that. I was watching Masay's Undertale stream, and Adriana was on it, which is Adrisaurus on YouTube. And she said something about being hungry, and I was like, I just typed in, you know, flame pillar. So I kind of made her a chicken pot pie in the chat. And then I thought, you know, I should make one in real life, so maybe I will. Well, I mean, I bought the ingredients tonight. Of course I'm going to do it. I just don't want them to know, so I'm kind of trying to hush-hush about that. Well, actually, as far as that goes, she might see this video. So, if you're watching, hey, Mom. I'm probably in there sleeping, aren't I, with my stupid ass. It's Perler Tim from the Runaway Guys, and Blue Pipe, still have it. Still have the Shy Guy. Still have the Electric Fire Flower, or Electric Flower. Let's add this to Mario Maker. I got the copyright on this, so you Mario Maker people, don't go making electric flowers without asking my permission. They already beat me to the brake lights idea. Well, I don't know, though. You don't see those out there. But every now and then somebody posts on Reddit and says, you know, they should make brake lights that tell how hard the person's hitting the brake. I'm like, dude, I came up with that shit 8 years ago. Don't even try it. But, yeah, no. I'm sure somebody came up with it before that, even. As far as that goes, when you apply for the patent, what they actually do is they show you other inventions that are similar to yours to help you decide if you really want to get the patent, because the other inventions are like stuff that hasn't been bought yet or stuff that hasn't been made, and yet there's a patent for it. There's no point having a patent for something if it doesn't get made. It's just an idea until somebody actually I guess, buys it from you, which doesn't explain why you have to pay for the patent. It's like, why do you have to buy something that someone else is going to turn around and buy from you? Why can't you just send the idea straight to them in an email to the CEO? Well, because they don't have time to read it, that's why. The thing's about to get to 20 minutes. And if you know my camera, you know what that means. That means it's going to split the video into 2. I can't believe I've been talking for this long. I need to get that next Super Mario Sunshine up, but I need to do some kind of vlog here. So, there's one for you right there. Now I'm going to go find the charging cable for this camera, which I think is still in my bag with the rest of the stuff that I took to PAX. Or no, to Atlanta. That would be in November. Oh, I was going to say, you didn't leave it in there for 3 months, did you? It hasn't been 3 months since I made a vlog. I know I made that one there, just ticked over. I was about to say, I know I made that one of the Star Wars cereal, and that was like nothing. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to turn the camera off, and then that's when I'm going to see something and be like, oh, I should have talked about that. I was like, what? What do you need to talk about so bad? Well, here's my Mario. Well, here, how about this? Well, shoot, I was supposed to, like, scan this, actually. This is my list of Mario Maker codes. So you see Bowser's Painful Fortress, haha. It's like, how can a fortress be painful? It's like, it can, we know how it can. We know what that means. But I still think it's hilarious that you could describe a fortress as painful when all it does is sit there. It's painful fortress. What the balls, man. Free my son, let him walk right through the rain. Yeah, free my son, make him waterborne. No. So these are like the latest 2 movies that I've been watching other than Star Wars. We have Wicker Park and The Matrix Revolutions. I don't know, something about The Matrix Revolutions is kind of good, you know. It's like the war at the end. I mean, at least they gave us the war. I'm sure they didn't explain anything else, but they gave us the war and it was epic. And why does it seem like every single video game now rips off Matrix Revolutions? Like, every single game now is about a person getting into a giant suit of armor and controlling the armor like they do in the Revolutions. Like, there's like Titanfall. I mean, even Fallout 4 has that to some extent. There's like, you know, what's his name? The guy from that really COD or whatever. But like, there's him, and then there's like, what is the other one? Well, I guess Xenoblade looks like that too. Like, I mean, I love Xenoblade, don't get me wrong, but man, how many games can you possibly have where it's these people getting in giant suits of armor and, you know, whatever happens to just everyday people having everyday problems? I mean, I know people say, oh, that's boring, you know, but still, repetition is boring. I guess to some extent you could say the same thing about Final Fantasy games, though. It's always so-and-so doesn't know who he is. Cloud doesn't know who he is. Terra doesn't know who she is. Squall sure as hell doesn't know who he is. Zidane, oh, he's from another planet. Who would have guessed? Spoilers! Titus, oh, he didn't know who he was either, did he? Vaughn, well, I guess he knew who he was, but he turned out to be nobody, so that didn't work. So I guess that could be construed as, you know, a cliche too. Maybe people just got sick of that and were like, fuck it all, let's just put them in a machine. That's all they are anyways, characters on a screen, might as well just go full retard on it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I don't know, it's like, I just said I was sorry for saying that word, but I'm almost halfway tempted to cut that part out, because nowadays people get mad at you if you apologize for it. It's like, don't listen to the PC crowd, be offensive, you know, but it's like, geez. You know, maybe there's a reason that people started thinking that way in the first place, you know, just because you haven't been there, just because you don't know what it's like to live that kind of a life. I mean, it's a small price to pay, you know, that we don't get to be entertained by those words. Oh, the humanity. Talk about first world problems. You don't get to use a certain word. You know, especially when people who that word is talking about have suffered far more than you could even imagine. I wouldn't want to imagine. Because we used to, like, when we went to church when I was really young, there was this one person in the congregation, and you could always hear them because they sang off-key. and they stood out drastically from the rest of the singers, like you could tell. But you know, my parents told me when I was young, they said that person doesn't realize that they sound that way. They think they sound totally normal, and I thought, well, in a way, I almost was glad for them, because to have to live your whole life communicating that way and being aware of it, that would just be like a total nightmare. How could you even stand the way people will look at you? I mean, at least if you're not aware of it, then you're not expecting them to look at you weird, so if they do, then, well, I guess that's no better then, is it? Because my problem is that I couldn't look people in the eyes, and I was totally aware of how that came across. So I didn't even bother to try, you know? I was like, because I knew I was going to get a weird look if I even so much as looked away, or if I got scared, or if my face went red. Because they say your face goes red when you're embarrassed. Well, you know, and I get embarrassed when I look at somebody in the eye, so they're going to see that I'm embarrassed, and they're going to think that that's their fault, and it's going to make them uncomfortable. So I just don't look them in the eyes to begin with. Save them the trouble. They don't realize that I'm doing them a favor, though. They think that I'm all distant and lonely and shit. You know, and when people talk about mental disorders, it's like they think that people who have mental disorders aren't aware of how they come across, so it's okay to make fun of them. Sometimes that's not the case, and that's why it's so hard sometimes. I can't believe I'm getting on this discussion right now. It's up 9 minutes. Holy crap. Anyway, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there, actually, because that's a half hour of shit right there, and that's way too long. So, well, it's not way too long when you only make one vlog a month, is it? Thanks again so much for the package. I very much appreciate it. I will get to putting these with their Perler friends. And with any luck, maybe I'll get back to making some Perlers of my own again pretty soon here. I guess my biggest obstacle, the biggest thing that's stopping me from going back to making Perlers is that I want to make big ones, but I don't want to iron them out with an iron. I wish there was some other way to do that. I wish there was like, is there like a bigger iron out there or something? Is there like a, I know there's like press plates and weird things like that, but I don't know, like, there just has to be a way to iron more area without, because the problem is when you iron it, they stick together, but then the ones next to them, they expand, and so they come out of their spot, and so you have to go iron over those, and then you end up with ones that are like sideways and not even in their hole anymore. And you can see it like all over the big ones if you really look. I got so lucky with that Giga guy. I don't know how I managed to pull that off, but because I guess the point is you just iron the whole thing evenly, but still. The problem is if there's even one spot that you haven't ironed enough and you go to pick that thing up, those pebbles are going to stay down in there and they're going to fall off of the main figure, and then how are you going to get it back together? Then you won't, then you just can't, you know, you literally can't. Because you can't put it back down, because how do you know? Because you have to put it right back exactly in the same spot where it just was. You know, you can't even be this much off, because that's how far apart each little pixel is. That's why it's just, you know, I just wish there was a better way to iron. And if I had that, then I'd probably go back to it tomorrow. I'd start making big ones again. I'd make that flame mammoth that I was always talking about making. Or maybe even like a really, really big, well, I don't know. I shouldn't talk like that, because, you know, there's nothing to stop me from going back and making more little ones like this. I mean, these aren't hard to make at all. They don't take that much time. I can open up my Etsy store and just get right back at it. I also need to get back to streaming again, because I haven't been doing enough of that at all. Well, I'd say enough as if I was doing any at all, but really, the thought has been there, and it's been in my mind. I just need to get ahead on regular videos. In order for me to do that, I'm going to have to turn this off and get started on editing those. So I guess I should just get to it then. So yeah, I just said I was done, and then I talked for another 3 minutes there. So yeah, I'm going to stop there before I think of something else. So stop thinking, reach for the camera, stop thinking, don't think. Shut up, bud!